Okay guys, we're at the second job, the toilet. I'll explain to you. This toilet was set, remodeled. This bathroom was remodeled and set. Let's see, let's get some video of it. I'll tag it to the invoice. The handyman that did this bathroom, not remodel, but you know, put that new counter on, whatever, but maybe you call it remodel, set this toilet, and we got called out because the tank was leaking in the fluid master. So we came here and we fixed the fluid master. It was loose, and two of the tank bolts were loose, and he just did an improper install. Over here, the tenant noticed that the bolt was loose, and of course we just grabbed it and pulled it out. And I can almost bet, maybe not, let me see. It looks like it was double nutted from looking at it in there. So, or wait. Yeah, it looks like it might be double nutted. Maybe either the flanges broke or he didn't tighten it. Let's get the toilet off and we'll see what's going on in here. Okay guys, Alicia's gonna get this toilet undone and Vinny's gonna move it out of there and set it on some plastic. And either that nut was not double nutted tight enough, or the flange is giving way. We'll find out in a few.
Your hand, if it's not tight enough, you know. Your hands.
Okay, Vinny's gonna get in there and take off the water supply line up on the top, I guess. Yeah. Oh, was it?
Loose enough?
Yes, loose.
Oh wait, that's the one I took off by accident.
Oh,
Okay, so you loosened it.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. As long as we know.
Tightened
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
As long as we know. We'll put pliers on it later.
Yeah.
So just take out the hose. The hose is off.
No.
I think you can do it by hand, right? Well, guys, the good news is the other bolt is loose too. So that puts me in spirit that that makes it better, because if one side is tight and the other one isn't, then you think, oh, the flange broke. But if both sides are loose, usually it's just bad workmanship. The guy didn't know what he was doing, didn't tighten it enough. Yeah, when both sides are loose, you can almost bet it was just faulty workmanship. So I'm hoping the flange is going to be good under there. If not, we're going to have to take a run to Home Depot.
Can you do that?
Yeah, take a run to Home Depot, get some closet repair flanges or whatever we decide to use. There's all kinds of stuff out there. But the left side was loose, as well as the right side. So we're hoping it was just the guy didn't install it right. Like I said, everything else was loose on it when he installed it. The tank was loose.
It's not coming off.
Well, yeah, because you want a pair of pliers, and then
Or maybe with the pliers, but I don't want to break the cap. But I have an extra if you have to.
And the other thing, guys, is if you notice, this toilet was never caulked. And once again, when you don't caulk these toilets, they start to wiggle, and once they start to wiggle, wax ring fills, the bolts start to get loose. You gotta caulk these toilets. Because once you get the flange repaired, or once you get the toilet set right, and the bolts are right, and you caulk it, that caulking dries and cements that toilet to the ground. That way, when you wiggle on it or make movement, you don't end up moving the whole toilet and making things come loose. But this is a good example of it's not.
There. A piece of the plastic on the
Well,
board.
good news for the owner.
Stacked up
The bolts were just loose. They're double nutted, but they're loose. But then again, with no caulking on the toilet, everything starts to wiggle, everything starts to get loose. And the flange is sitting about a ½ inch down below the tile, so we're just gonna double wax it. A lot of people say, oh, you should shim it up. Well, I don't know. Every time you can scrape that flange clean, and you still have this built up wax residue. And if you know silicone doesn't like to stick to wax. So, you know, you put that silicone down on those shims and sometimes they leak. I just rather double up on my, I'd rather put a extra thick wax ring and then put another wax ring on top of it, double it up with a normal wax ring. And that's a reinforced one, by the way. They hold up pretty
They
good.
put the 1, 2,
Yeah, they put 2 too.
but it
And
seems
there's no
like
problem with it leaking.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good to go. So we're not going to put any toilet shims. We're just going to double up on the wax rings, because how much of this could you clean where silicone is going to stick to it? I bet you could clean this with a scraper, and then without sanding it down to metal, you know, you put silicone ain't going to stick to that. It's going to break loose, and no problem. No time at all it's going to break loose. So we're going to just put 2 wax rings. We've been doing it that way for years, and we have success. Okay, what we're going to use is we're going to use this extra thick reinforced with this on top. Some guys put this on top of that, and really you shouldn't, because if you put this on top of that, this black funnel here, if you don't set the toilet down 100% straight, this will start to shift. This black part can end up into the side of this, and unfortunately you can end up with a leak now or at the time, or maybe later. It's always better to take this and put it here and put some pressure. This will actually stick to this pretty good, especially once you put the toilet on it. If this happens to slip a little bit, it won't do anything to this funnel here. So this funnel, when you set this down, this will hold it in the middle of the hole over there, and this here will go on top of there. You do it vice versa, this could slip, or this could slip into here and break this ring here. That's just the way I do it, and that's just my thought. So rather than shim it up, we're going to go ahead and double ring it and go with that, because you try to put silicone on that, it probably won't hold.
Thank you.
And she's going to put 2 new bolts. There's bolts in both those. The flange is in good shape, if you can see there.
What I did is I cleaned it up a little bit more here.
Is this one long, or is the other package longer?
I think the other package
The other
is longer.
package is
Okay,
longer.
that's why I asked.
Yeah, we'll use the other
So
one.
someone, I think, put
Sink it pretty deep, right?
the old one. You know, this is the old one, and it came undone. It had a knot on top. You know.
Well, it's just because the
But-
toilet wasn't caulked and it wiggled, and
See, the guy probably left it to the end, like
that's
barely
it.
made it there.
Yeah.
See, I'm having trouble putting it in.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, these are way longer.
All right.
So I'm gonna clean it
The
up.
Yeah, those
Reinforced
are way
comes
longer.
longer.
The extended, the extra thick always comes with longer bolts. All right. All right, guys. We went to put the bolt in there, and it won't go in all the way. It was hanging out like the other guy left it. So Alicia's got a hook, a pick with a hook on it, and she's in there cleaning the area where it doesn't want to go. It's full of chunky, I don't know what it's full of,
Rust.
rust.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bolt wouldn't go in, and we can see why he didn't put the bolt all the way in, because it wouldn't go in. But he should have took some time to clean it out like she's doing, and getting it where it will work. So she's cleaning the crap out of it, so the bolt will slide in all the way,
that?
like it should. Yeah. So she's got 3 different picks there that she's trying. There's the picks she's been using. Show them what we mean, how it won't go in. Show the toilet bolt real quick, Al. The bolt won't go in all the way. It goes.
It goes straight in like this, no problem. But when it's time to turn it, it doesn't want to go.
Now it looks like
Like
it
this.
wants to go. It's getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah. So it
Okay.
won't. It,
Keep working on it.
yeah. She's gonna keep working on it. So. We're going to tighten that fluid master up while it's here. It's easier. Yeah, that one's holding.
Yeah.
I might just tighten it a little bit.
Here we go.
Nice and tight.
Yeah. It's nice and tight. Okay. Now this guy right here.
Put your putty enough to support the washer.
Yes.
Keep down the hole. That's good.
That is tight.
Alright.
Okay, we're looking good here.
Let me get a picture of the go ahead. And then I'll get another picture of that one. Hold on. Get your hand. Oh, you got a clean one.
You bought some, right?
No, those on the truck. We gotta buy some more now. That's good. See how, guys, how she molds it into the top one?
I don't want it to shift.
She don't want it to shift, so she molds it in a little bit like that. Instead of just dropping it on and tapping it a few times, she kind of molds it. And it's way above the tile line, way above it. That's gonna be a really good wax seal. Good enough, Al. We're not making pottery. Huh?
You should probably put 3 wax rings on.
No, look how it's way above the.
Gonna be moving this side. That's everything? Alright.
It's out of the way.
Hey, right there.
Perfect. Oh, look at that. That's squashed really good.
Perfect.
That thing, I could feel it just go down. You just know when you get it right. That toilet hits like a dead stop, and then it just goes down.
That was quick.
Yeah.
That was a quick install.
Yeah, well, you know when you got it set right. When you put it on and the bolts pass through the hole, and then all of a sudden the toilet hits a little resistance, and then you kind of just let the weight of the toilet go down, and you can just feel that squash. It's like a ½ inch of squash, man. Why don't you do this, Al? Why don't you hook up the toilet line, and we can start flushing it
Yeah.
while you do the bolts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause,
You don't want it that on my pants.
okay, so what do we need? Like a little trash bag of some sort?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go get a Home Depot bag. That way we can pick up a little bit.
Is the Flu Master stand in place? The flush valve? Is it true?
Yeah, it's not moving.
Okay, good.
It did a little like,
A little bit?
it moved but it went back.
Huh?
It was fighting. Alright, it's time to move.
Huh?
It's
Started to move? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what we got.
Did you just rip one? I think she did. You rip one? Alright, let's test. Oh no, she's good. So you're just putting the nuts or washer. What are you doing?
Well,
The bottom cap?
yes, what you do is you need this one because you're gonna snap that one on top.
Yes, I do.
So what you do is just put that one first, then that one second, and that's to screw it down.
Gotcha.
So just drop it there. There,
Okay.
there, and then you knot.
Perfect. And then she'll cap that with that cap.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so this is the alright guys, so we are using these which shims? Not these shims, no. We are using these shims right here.
And we'll go around the toilet.
So Mom, she's putting in the toilet shims after she tightened it down, after doing the toilet shims all the way around. She's gonna put 2 on the sides and 1 on the front right here. And she's gonna tap it in a little bit. Not too much, and then
Check the back of it. See if there's any needed. That too as well.
yeah, see these. My dad got these after watching it from John Phillips. Shout out to John Phillips for these.
And they work amazing.
Well, they work amazing because they can get cut off pretty good, which you'll see. Those are just way too thick, too big.
Well, let's talk about it.
These are nice, slim, slender.
Compared to the ones.
These are just really thick and not that much of a wedge.
And
whereas
this one right here, they get the job done.
He's got a pretty good wedge, and the trick of cutting these are pretty easy too. She'll see right here. There we go.
I need the other one.
Oh, she needs this right here behind you.
Oh,
Grab
it's
it.
behind me? Okay.
This is how you cut them off.
Are
Put
you
it in
gonna
an
flush it?
angle.
There
There
it
you
is.
go, and then she's gonna
See how nice
hammer it in a little bit more. Just a little love tap. That's it.
Just that way
That
when we
way.
cock it, you won't see it.
Alright guys, I'm doing it.
Watch this. That's it.
Okay? Then you go in there. There. Then you go right here. That's it.
There it is. Good job. Guys, you gotta be shimming your toilets.
And not like the Mamone way where he puts pennies.
Oh, that guy, yeah, we were at a job the other day and we found the guy used pennies and nickels to shim the toilet.
Did you shim the sides on the back?
Doesn't need it.
It doesn't need it? Did you
No.
try fitting it?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you try it. I trust you. This is a toilet expert right here.
Yeah.
Alright guys, the toilet's all in. It's been shimmed wherever we take shims. We've been flushing the hell out of it. Now we're gonna apply the caulking.
There's another thing I noticed.
What?
It seemed like it was cleaning flush, but for some reason at the front, it had gap. So one Vinny said put some chims on that, I filled them in through, and now it's solid. It was actually rocking us at the same time. You know, loose bolts and start rocking, so that was disaster.
filter. Alright guys, just putting the caulking to it. And see, when you tap, I don't know if you've seen other videos where they're caulking toilets and they're using shims, and you can see the shims kind of shine through the caulking. That's because after they're done cutting the shim, they're not tapping the shim in. In fact, I think in one of our videos you can see the shim where we were guilty of that, only because we just didn't see it. But for the most part, you use the shims, you cut them flush with the toilet, then you take your putty knife and you knock the shim in about a 1/16 of an inch. That way when you caulk it, you won't see that shim, because when you go over it with caulking and it's flush, it's like a clear, you can see like a clear spot, the same width as the shim. Basically you see the shim. But if you knock that shim in, then put the caulking over it, you won't see it. And if you see one of my other videos where Alicia cut the shim and then she caulked it, you could see the one shim. We put about 4 shims on that toilet, and you couldn't see 3 of them, but you could see 4 of them simply because we forgot to tap that shim in. But in this one here, she tapped them all in, and there wasn't that many, but she tapped them all in. You can't really even see them. So remember, tap your shims in. And it's not going to hurt anything if you don't. If you cut it flush and you leave it flush and you caulk over it, and you can see the shim, it's just a cosmetic deal, nothing more, you know. But it is nice to tap them in a little bit, and where you don't visually see the shims. All right, she's got it there, looking good.
Hey Dad, what is this I found in your wallet?
What are you doing in my wallet? Huh? What do you think that is?
I needed one, but I didn't think it was the right size.
Those guys are, we call them condoms, but they go on top of the caulking gun. You might get 2 or 3 applications. They come in a bag of 100, and you might pull it over the tip of the caulking tube 2 or 3 times, and then it gets a little hole up there. And then you just, down here. You put that on 2 or 3 times, and then usually the caulking gun plastic tip will put a hole in the very tip, and you can't reuse it. But you can use them like 2 or 3 different times before you have to toss them. But they really keep the caulking fresh, so it's kind of worth it. You get them on Amazon. Let's see here. So we'll kind of let her do this, and then we'll go over it. Okay, well, Vinny's learning how to plumb, he's learning how to set toilets, he's learning how to shim, he's learning, everything, other things besides electrical. Alright, we flushed, I don't know how many times. She's got it cocked all the way around. You can't see any of the shims. Well, that's it for this job. You guys want to say goodbye? And we're heading home for today, right?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I think we got one more job.
What is it?
Go home and clean up.
Oh, that one. We got to go check the sand. You're right. I don't know how I almost forgot about that. It's not a job, it's an estimate.
Yeah.
Still, we got to go.
All right.
What is the
Okay, we do have an estimate. It's a butcher. You guys won't believe it. It's a butcher block countertop at a rental. The owners, before they made a rental out of the house, put a butcher block countertop.
From IKEA.
Yeah, from IKEA. And this thing is supposedly full of mold. It's going to need to be sanded down, re-oiled with butcher block oil. Actually, they make a stain that you can stain it safely, food grade stain. Yeah, it's food grade.
Yeah.
So we're going to go look at it and possibly do it tomorrow. If so, we'll get some video of it. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later.